Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Girls and Gays Let's Talk. I have Marisa here with me again. Hey, Marisa.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be in the studio. So
Yes, true. This is my second time recording someone in person.
I'm honored. First is the worst, second is the best.
That's funny. So, what we're going to talk about today?
We're going to be little chismosas today.
We're going to be talking about the job we worked together. What other stuff that happened before I got there?
Yes. It was, some of the stuff you were there for.
Yeah, some of the things I was, but not all the things, not everything. You were there a lot longer than me because I was only there like a year.
Let's see. I was there at 18, 19, 20, 21. So I was there for 3 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, for fast food, yeah.
Yeah, for fast food it is. Yeah, I only lasted a year, and then I left because of like Susie. She was such a bitch.
God, I could not stand her. Like, she had like this power trip thing whenever she had gotten promoted. And I remember they had me train her on stuff whenever they promoted her. And I'm like,
yes, I didn't understand why they promoted her instead of one of us that had been there so much longer than her.
Yeah, it's because you had to be 21 in order for them to promote it, because Drew ruined it for everybody because he was an immature manager, because they promoted him at 19 because he was there for like whenever he was like 16.
Yeah, but I was almost 21. I was like months away.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like we were both almost there. Like within at that point, it's like, what's the point? Why hire somebody or promote someone that didn't deserve it?
Exactly, just because of their age.
Yeah, but then actually, according to somebody else, they told me that the reason we weren't promoted had nothing to do with our age.
What did it have to do with?
Our color.
Who said? Really?
Yes. The person that got me the next job.
Oh.
Yeah. He told me.
What the heck?
I know. I was like, I'm not surprised.
This is honestly a shock to me.
Really?
It is a shock to me.
I wasn't surprised. I was like, when he told me, because, he was the manager at the time. And so I told him, like they kept like dangling in front of me that they were going to promote me, and then they promoted her instead.
Wait. They were talking about promoting you?
They had told me that they kept making me like moving me up every time because I had been there the longest as all the fry cooks. Mm-hmm. And so they kept telling me like, okay, you're like just one step away from becoming manager. And then at the end and so I had told him, like, hey, like I wanted to be it, but they never gave it to me, so they gave it to her instead. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to move on. And he told me I helped you move on because I knew they were never going to give it to you.
What the heck?
And it had nothing to do with your age, is what he told me.
That is some serious bullcrap.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, this is shocking. I'm pissed.
I know.
At that place, man.
I know.
And like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to think of the other locations, and they didn't have people of color.
They didn't have people of
charge.
color. No, everyone was white.
Oh my goodness.
Just shock. I just blew your mind.
Yes, it blew my mind.
But it fits.
Yeah. I mean,
and why would he tell me too?
Yeah, the manager themselves. That could have been a lawsuit. We could have been bacon.
I know. We should have.
Dang, I'm pretty sure there's a statute of limitations on
that.
I
think like 5 years or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
We're way past it.
God, but yeah, that place was crazy. Do you remember whenever Camilla got fired? Because of a Facebook post.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was a Facebook post about Harper, and names have been changed, obviously. Names have clearly been changed. But she had posted on Facebook about, like, I get promoted everywhere I go, says the person who sleeps with management. And one of Harper's friends screenshotted it and sent it to the boss that Harper was sleeping with.
I didn't know she was sleeping with him.
Yes.
No wonder it was such a big deal.
Exactly. That's why it was a big deal. And on top of that, like, he would go to high school parties and he was like 21, 22. And he would be going to these high school parties with Harper and her best friend. And this one time, they had slept together, and then she apparently went to go sleep with somebody else. He found out, woke up in the morning, they were still there, and then Harper ended up taking off, and he chased her down the street, like in his vehicle. He was chasing her and her best friend, and then he ended up getting pulled over, and it's like, dude, she's a freaking minor.
These people.
God. But yeah, so Camilla had posted that on Facebook, and then her best friend screenshotted it to the manager that she was sleeping with. And then the manager sent it to the owners, and then the owners ended up having to come down and like talk to Camilla. And she's like, oh yeah, I did post that, but I can go ahead and take it down because, I mean, it was true. She was sleeping with Drew. Like, but the thing is, like, why would they fire Camilla and not fire the manager who was sleeping with minors?
That's true. That does make sense.
Like,
that
they
would fire them.
Literally illegal. And I think she said that it was like sexual harassment was what was written in her thing. And I'm like, how is that sexual harassment whenever there was another instinct with Amara and Adam, the temporary manager, Adam? So they were working line together, and Adam had slapped Amira's butt. And she freaked out and she slapped his hand. And Daniel had witnessed it, and he told Amira that, yeah, I got your back. You know, if they want to talk about it, like, I will be a witness. And then whenever it came down to it, he was like, I didn't see anything. And I'm like...
But didn't they have cameras either way?
They did have cameras. That's the thing. They did have cameras.
Because they always told us how they would watch us while we were working.
Yes, there was this one time whenever I was doing backwash with Daniel, and, well, he was doing backwash, and I was doing the spices, like the MSG and stuff, putting them in bags for the fry cooks. And we were chit-chatting, and he was somebody who could not talk and work. Like, he would stop what he was doing. And I'm like, dude. And that's whenever they had like their weekly meeting with the owners and the managers. And the woman owner came back and she told Drew or Daniel, she was like, please, if you're going to be talking, you need to be talking and working. I'm watching you and you're not working. And I'm like, and so whenever she walked away, I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh my, it's horrible. Yeah. So they did have cameras, but they didn't do that. And then they were wanting to fire Amira for her slapping Daniel's hand.
They fire her for slapping
Adam's
the hand.
Yeah.
But not him for slapping her ass.
Yeah. Not Adam for slapping.
That's fucked up.
I know. And then they ended up firing him because whenever he would go and train at a different location out of state, they would, or not state, but out of town, they would keep him in a hotel, and it had a mini bar, and he emptied out the mini bar. Yeah, it wasn't him sexually assaulting, harassing Amira, but it was the freaking mini bar because it cost them money. And I'm like, their priorities, well, he was white, so.
That's true. You know who else slept their way to the top?
Who?
Susie.
What?
Apparently.
With who?
Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he's the one that crashed into my car.
Crashed the white car?
No, into my car.
Was it the guy with the truck?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, remember he was manager.
Yeah.
Many times they would go into the refrigerator or the freezer to like mess around.
Oh my!
And the GM almost caught them once, but they were just saying that they were in there taking inventory.
Of course, inventory of what?
Yeah.
God. Yeah, no, and then like they had to disclose their relationship to the owners and HR and everything.
But that was after she was already promoted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember. So I was in the process of training Susie, and she got upset because she freaked out on, I don't even remember what it was, but she did not know how to handle like whenever we had a rush, and she was like freaking out, didn't know what to do, told people to do something else. And I was like, no, let's not do that. And I told the fry cook, I was like, go ahead and drop this and that and this and that. And like I told the fry, because I have been working there longer than her.
Yeah.
So after the rush slowed down and everything, her boyfriend comes up to me, the other manager, and he's like, in case you don't know, and I have to remind you, and then he, like, with his pointer finger and his thumb, he grabs my sleeve and, like, does an up and down, like, 3 times. He's like, you're a red shirt. You're not a manager. And I said, well, I did step up whenever the manager couldn't. And I was, like, so annoyed because it's like, if we would have done what she said, there would have been a line. People would have been driving out. Like, I stepped up whenever it needed to be done.
Yeah, she sucked at her job.
She did. I know that she was going to school for real estate, so.
Well, makes sense.
God, yeah. She's a bitch.
Yeah, she was. She's the reason I left because she would write me up at the end for the dumbest things. Like, she wanted to get rid of me.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
She wrote me up for insubordination when instead of taking out the trash, I was helping them do, I was washing everything.
Yeah.
Because the guy who was supposed to be washing everything had injured his hand that day and couldn't do it.
Is it that dummy?
Yes.
Oh my God. And I even
I'm sure we're thinking the same person.
Yes. I even told them, I was like, because whenever they were talking about moving him to Fry Cook, I told them, I was like, well, if that's the case, because at the time they were also doing like what was it called?
Rotations or shift leads. Yeah.
Shift leads, yeah.
I was the lead supposedly of everyone.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real position. Though.
Yeah, no. It came with no extra money or anything that.
It was stupid.
But, what was I saying? Oh, but
that they moved him.
Yeah, I was like, well, if that's the case, and if you are going to give me like the rotating position of shift lead, I do not want him behind the fryer whenever I'm on duty, like whenever I'm working, because he's a liability. He's going to put his hand in, and that's exactly what
when I left, he did.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And I'm like, I literally told y'all.
Yes.
Like, this guy, like, yeah, you might need another fry. Like, you need another fry cook. Don't promote him. Like, he's
an idiot.
Yeah, he's a freaking idiot.
Yeah, remember, they told me that he dropped the tongs into the fryer and then stuck his whole hand in to grab it into the hot grease.
Because he's dumbass. I mean, yeah, like, it's muscle memory, but like whenever you're in like that.
No, but like that's pretty. Like, you have how many? We had like 5 there at all times.
Yes.
Who the hell cares about the one?
I know. Maybe he dropped the other ones in there. Oh my God, he was so. God, and I remember there was this one time where I went home early. Well, I had like a 12 to 8 shift. And I went home early and I passed out. And then I didn't wake up until like 3 a.m. And I had like 3 missed calls from the GM and 2 missed calls from Susie. And then Susie had texted me, hey, whenever you get a chance, text general manager so he could talk to you. And I was like, oh, shit, like, what the fuck did I do? It's like 3-something in the morning. And I text him like, hey, what's going on? And obviously he wasn't going to respond. But then he texts me. He's like, hey, can you be the fry cook? I'll go ahead and bump you up an additional 25 cents. I'll raise your pay. And I'm like, just for 1 shift? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, I could do that. But I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've never been a fry cook before. Yeah, and he's like, you'll figure it out. And I was like, okay. So whenever I went, Susie's boyfriend was the one who was working. He's like, they did call you. And I was like, yes, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never been a fry cook before. He's like, really? You've never done? I was like, no. And he's like, you'll figure it out. And I did figure it out. And I was so stressed out because I'm like, I've never done it. And then afterwards, I got off the shift and I got home and I was too tired to take a shower. Like, that heat, if you're not used to it, unbearable. It's
a lot.
And like, you're constantly like, oh my God, it was so horrible. So I ended up going home and I passed out on the living room floor. And whenever my brother got home, he's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I just fell back asleep and I didn't wake up until, God, I don't even remember.
Yeah, and then the smell of your clothes after. Yes, it smells so bad.
Oh my, yes, it smells horrible. And like, you're all like greasy.
Yeah.
God.
I would wash the shirts by themselves.
That
So none of my other
sense.
clothes would get affected.
And they give you like a little freaking plastic apron. Like, what is
Yeah, I know.
that
Like, what is that gonna do? Like, that's gonna melt.
Yeah, like it. What? It's just gonna roll it down a little bit before it melts it.
Yeah, like at the tips, it would melt sometimes.
Yeah, really.
Depending, like if you got oil on you or not.
Mm.
Yeah. And come on, you're always like leaning on the thing. Especially like the shorter people.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're always like leaning up to grab everything. Like I was taller than the rest.
Yeah.
So I could reach no problem. But a lot of them, like the little short guy that was there at the end, I don't even remember him.
Oh yeah, the alcoholic.
Was he?
Yeah, the one with the white van.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
So he was a little thing. He couldn't reach it, so he would like get really close.
Really?
I'm like, how are you like not burn yourself yet?
God, yeah. No, there was this one time I needed a ride home, and he was there, and he's like, "I only had a couple to drink." I was like, "Okay, I live right up the road. Could you take me?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool." And then the next day, I'm like, "Hey, thanks for the ride." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He didn't remember. I was like, "You said that you had a couple drinks." He's like, "No, a couple's a lot." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That's funny. You know who I do miss though?
Who?
The GM's wife. I loved her.
Ex-wife.
I know they broke up.
It's called a divorce.
Yeah, they got divorced. Well, I loved her. She also liked me. She told me that
so
she would always like ask him if I was the fry cook that day. And if it was me, she would order food. But if it wasn't, she wouldn't.
God, I loved her. She was so sweet. And didn't they meet from the fast food place?
I think so. That's what he said, that they had met there. She went on to become a teacher.
Yeah.
And he became the manager.
Yeah. And now he's selling cars.
That's what he's doing?
Yeah, he's in Navasota, I believe.
Okay.
So I have him on LinkedIn.
Oh.
So.
I have him on Facebook, but I don't like get on.
Really?
So
well, I did have him on Facebook for a while, but there was this time where I was needing some recommendations, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it." And I had asked Drew as well if he'd give me a recommendation. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it." I was like, "Okay, it needs to be done." And it's the same one that I sent you that one time.
And I did it like right away.
And then like 3 days gone by and they didn't do it. And I was like, "Forget y'all." And I deleted them on Facebook. I was like, "If you're not going to help me, you have no right to know about my life."
Yeah. Hey, but it worked out at the end.
Yeah, it really did. God, I'm happy where I'm at right now.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it really does. And sometimes it doesn't even seem like it. Like there was these times in my life where I felt like Job from the Bible. Because I felt like, I know, I'm so dramatic. I felt like so many things were getting taken away from me. And like, I was just losing it. And I'm like, what do you want? Like, what else is there to give, you know?
Yeah.
But I saw somebody, or I heard somebody say the other day, whenever that happens, God is taking away the things that no longer serve you, and it may feel like you're getting like rid of everything, but he's going to be replacing it slowly. And I'm like, I want it now. Give it to me now. I'm not patient.
It's funny actually because my cousin, he does card readings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does things like that. And so I did it once just to see like what comes up.
Yeah. Was it accurate?
Somewhat. He told me I was seeing somebody that was bad for me and I needed to separate myself like as soon as possible.
Did he know that you were in a relationship?
Yes, he did know. But he didn't know like anything about the person.
Yeah.
He just knew that I was seeing somebody and how we met, and that was it. He told me like, did you know he wasn't going to move here, even though he was telling you he was? I'm like, I never even told you he was going to move here. Like,
that's insane. Whenever things like that happen.
So he was telling me all these things, and so then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna end it. And so I did this whole like ending it with him.
Yeah.
And then I changed my mind at one point. I'm like, you know what? That's stupid. Like, who lives their life on what cards say?
Oh my! And you got back.
So I talked to him for a little while, and then he wanted to get together. He was talking about wanting to get married and all that, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to get married.
You don't
Not
wanna
right
get
now.
married? Oh, okay.
And he made it seem like he wanted it like by the end of the year, and it's like that's not what I want.
Probably so he can trap you and
Yes.
continue treating you horribly if that's what he was doing, or continue doing
Yeah.
whatever, and you have to go.
Okay, what he had told me, what my cousin told me, is that he was taking what was mine.
What?
Like he would like my successes is what he was doing. He said this person is draining you,
Oh my god!
so you need to keep them away from you. So he told me.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so it worked out.
So
I no longer talk to him. I no longer know what's going on with him.
So once you cut off contact, is that whenever like your life started improving, or was it just the same?
It took a hard hit right after, but then it got better. Like I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Like the things that happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And like that's when I left the fence company
Oh, okay.
that I was making a lot of money in.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh well. But then the job I have now, I like it so much better that I'm like, you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah. I used to work there too.
Yeah, you know.
I used to work at the front, not in the back.
They remember you.
I don't think they remember. I was there, I was going to say like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, but they remember you.
Huh.
Because I asked, like, do you remember her? She said yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm memorable.
You should go in there and say hi.
And let them see how chubby I got. Let me take a couple shots first. And then I'll go.
From the parking lot. I'll get a good
Yes.
faja.
No, because if they hug me, I'm going to be hard.
That's true.
I'll
You
be
could
like, what is
tell.
she wearing?
Yeah, someone's hiding something.
They're called abs. I work out 20 times a day.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I do enjoy working there. I feel like it's so relaxing.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of drama. No one's sleeping with somebody else.
Yep, you're right there.
Everyone's married.
Are they?
Mostly, yeah.
Oh.
Like there's a few that aren't, but there's not many.
Oh. Well, good for them.
Yeah, I know.
God, it was. I only worked there part time because that's all they had to offer.
Yeah.
And there, I would do this thing at the register where it close to closing, like I wanted to be out the door by closing time, like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So what I started doing was I started counting the money and putting it away, and then I would leave $100 in the cash register, so that way if somebody was paying cash, I could just give change and know that it's like going to be off, but I don't have to count the entire thing.
Yeah.
And this one time I was panicking. I was like, where's the money? Because I was like $50 off or something. And it was a holiday and everybody was like, let's go, Marisa. I'm like I'm trying to count my money. Like, give me a second. And then I just shoved it in there and I just put it in the safe. And I'm like, they'll figure it out. I don't know whatever happened.
They probably didn't even care.
Maybe. Like, so whenever I left that place and started working at the mental health clinic, it was like 2 weeks later, I got an email from them because they emailed everybody who worked there. And they were like, hello, we regret to inform you that our place was broken into. And they took the safe with everybody's social security numbers.
I heard about
and
that.
I'm like, what? So what they did is they offered like where you can monitor your
credit.
Yeah. Well, not your credit, but yeah, I guess your credit, and to see if your social security is being used. And they offered like a year or 2 years free. And I'm like, I mean, I guess that's something. So
Yeah.
but I'm like, what is somebody gonna do with my
information.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to do with it if
I wouldn't know either.
Like,
take out a credit card.
Yeah, but then you need to know their date of birth.
Yeah, there's a lot, but they took everything. Everyone's information was in there.
Yeah,
I thought it was Paige's information.
Who?
I didn't know it was y'all's information.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, it was ours, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. But they kept it in a safe. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I know where their safe is now.
I don't know where it is.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'll tell y'all.
I haven't looked at. I haven't looked at it. I haven't cared.
No, it's a very interesting.
Okay.
So, like, you can only access the safe as soon as everything's locked and nobody's in the pharmacy.
Oh,
so.
That's probably why I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it matters.
But they probably moved it by now, I'm sure.
That's true.
So,
because they're constantly changing things in there.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do like about it, that they're constantly like improving.
Yeah, you have to keep up with the demand of whatever your field's in, because if not, you're just gonna get stuck behind and in an old timey. Just like my old job, like they use AS400.
What the hell is that?
Arnie's uses it. The Arnie's warehouse. It's like it's
DOS?
a system. It's a system that you use. You know how, like, for fencing, you would use a system to input invoices and stuff.
Okay.
Like but it's very old that some of the old people that work there or start working there, they're like, oh, wow, I haven't seen this since I was, like, 19.
Oh.
And it's that
old. It probably is based on a DOS system.
I don't know what that is.
That's like, remember when the screens were, like, green?
Yes.
And you had to like click here and then click there.
Yes, it's black and green. Yes. It's black and green.
It's based on a DOS system. Oh, Lord Jesus, that sucks.
Apparently, Bank of America uses that one as well.
Golly. People need to update.
They do. Gosh. It's crazy how I met you at the fast food place.
Yeah.
And then I changed jobs. And then you just show up one day because you're working at a different place. And I'm like, what are you doing here?
Actually, I have a picture of when we took that day.
Whenever
I ran into you at the mental health the first time.
Okay. Yeah, but whenever you showed up, because you would pick up stuff and then go and deliver it, and I saw you walking, I'm like, what are you doing here? And you're like, oh, I work over here at this pharmacy. And I'm like, that's crazy. I work here. So, like, it's like,
yeah, we didn't know.
First 3 jobs intertwined with each other.
Yes, that's so true.
That is insane. And I was just waiting for you to be at my last job, just show up for some medical reason or something. Just waiting.
Who knows? Maybe I'll show up at your current one day.
Maybe. I might not be there since I only go into the office once a week.
Oh, that's true. That's funny, though.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, like our lives kept entertaining
yes.
each other. Like we were meant to keep talking to each other.
Yeah, maybe you are my long lost brother.
Maybe I am. That was funny. I didn't think what else happened while we were there.
Do you remember this person? Bald.
No.
Fry cook. Promoted to manager. Kind of racist.
No.
Had a little mustache.
No.
No.
That must have been before me.
No, this guy he was weird. Scott, he waited until one of our friends, like, she started working there at like 16 and a half. And then as soon as she turned 18, he slid in her DMs. And he was, or no, he didn't even slide into her DMs. He told her that he liked her at the trash can whenever they're taking trash out.
That's awkward because, like, nobody could hear you scream from there.
Yeah, and then
you better run and scream because no one's going to hear you.
Yeah, and she was kind of like, she's like, oh, no thanks. And then I'm not sure if you remember this person. Do you remember her?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So as soon as she turned 18,
the same thing.
Same thing. They ended up getting married.
Really?
Yes.
What is wrong with her?
They're divorced now.
Well, good for her.
Yes, I'm like, And it was so weird because I had him added on Facebook. And then I sent him a message. I was like, hey, congratulations on being with this person. I'm so happy for you. Like, I'm glad that she found love. And he's like, oh, thanks. And then he started talking about their sex life to me. And I'm like,
that's inappropriate.
I know. I'm like, I don't need to know this about my friend.
Yeah.
Like, if she wants to let me know, she can tell me. Why are you telling me?
Yeah.
Like, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, I know. That's fucked up.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I ain't even going to tell her anything because I don't want her to be mad at me. But
well, she wouldn't be mad at you. She'd be mad at him.
Sometimes people are weird like that. Like,
oh, that's true.
They direct their anger towards the wrong person. Especially like whenever people are cheating, they don't direct it towards the person who is cheating. They direct it to the person that they got cheated with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like sometimes that person doesn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's like
I don't know. People are wild sometimes.
Yeah.
I always try to hold myself accountable or things like that. But I honestly feel like if my husband were to ever cheat on me, like I feel like I would honestly snap. Like
cut his dick off.
Honestly, I don't. I've told him in the past. I'm like, you know, if you end up being stupid and cheating on me, you better hope I don't find out. And if there's a slight chance you think I know, don't come home. Like I don't know what I'm capable of because I will be crazy. And I'm not joking.
I know.
Like I would go cry. Just the same way, like if he were to die, like I know for a fact, if he were to die young, I would have to check myself in a mental ward. Like I will lie and say I'm fine, but no, I'm gonna go and try to see him now.
You jump into there with him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I went through a lot. Like I remember how crazy his mom was.
Yeah. R.I.P. Mama H. But
I didn't know she had passed until you told me.
Really? When?
Because I no longer worked at the pharmacy.
Oh.
Because that's another way we intertwined was she came to see us.
Yeah.
And so when I left, I never got any updates on anyone.
Yeah. She was so sweet though whenever she wasn't having an episode.
Yeah.
And she loved me. Like I know a lot of people talk about, oh, my mother-in-law is horrible. I hate my mom. No, I loved her. I freaking loved her. Like she was so sweet to me. And like she even cried thanking me. She's like, thank you so much for bringing my son back home to me. Like he was always out with his friends. And since he's been with you, he just stays home and he actually watches TV with us. And I'm like, I guess you could thank my mom for the strict curfew. And then even his dad, whenever his dad was in his right state of mind, he would tell me, he's like, you know, thanks, girl. He was hanging out with some of those bad friends, but now he's not hanging out with them. I knew for a fact that they were going to put him in jail and blame everything on him. And he's like, thank you for pulling my son away from that. And I'm like, no problem.
I never met the dad.
No.
No, I only met the mom.
Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah, she was nice. I never had issues with her because there's a lot of patience you can get.
Yeah, especially whenever you're showing up to their house.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like how you're like, I can't confirm nor deny. And I'm like, Brad, just tell me.
Yeah, I know. Like certain things, like because there's HIPAA.
Yeah.
So you couldn't say, but since she's passed, like we can say everything now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, there's actually a few people like that. There was somebody that she was go to our pharmacy and she knew my family because she rented my grandmother's property from her. Mm-hmm. And because my grandmother rented, I think I told you before, she rents out houses, and so she lived next door to us because my grandmother owned it and rented it out. So we've known her for years. Then she got sick. She got cancer.
Oh.
And then they moved, and nobody ever knew what happened to her.
What?
After that, yeah, like, and then she suddenly appeared at our pharmacy, and so she always came to us. I delivered to her, like out to her, like you need, like you let me know, and I'll take care of it. Like I helped her whatever she needed.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, so she'd always say like, "How's your grandmother's doing? Tell them we miss them." Like they loved my family, and our family like loved them. And then when she passed, I told my grandmother like, "Hey, do you remember her?" She's like, "Yeah." Like she was like one of my best tenants. Like I loved her, and she told her she just passed away. She's like, "How did you know?" I'm like, "She's been coming to us for years, and the family came to let us know."
Really?
Yeah, because of the fact that we knew them for so long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, and I felt bad. I was like it was so sad. Yeah, because I knew her for so long, and like it was so funny. So our dog, his name was Max. He loved their dogs. Like got them pregnant multiple times.
Why wasn't your dog fixed?
Because he lived in the woods. You know, we had 5 acres.
Oh my god!
And so did they.
People need to fix their dogs.
No, but no. So they actually found each puppy like their own like home.
Oh, that's
and so
sweet.
they cared a lot about animals.
Yeah.
So and apparently one of them. So their dog had one blue eye and one brown eye. One of the puppies came out with 2 blue eyes. And then he looked like a golden retriever. He got like the long hair and everything.
Really?
Yeah, because mine was a golden Labrador. He was mixed.
Oh my! Do you have a picture?
I do. I'll show it to you later.
Okay, yeah.
So he looked. The puppy looked exactly like a golden retriever with blue eyes.
Oh wow!
I didn't get to see him.
That's such a
unique.
Yeah,
because once he was born, we saved. My mom said they didn't want any more puppies.
Yeah.
And so they gave him away to somebody they knew.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but so a lot of shit happens.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Yes, thank you so much for having me in here. I love it.
Just shit talking.
I know it and it feels so official. Like, all right, put the beat on. This is 173 JKL.
And you can see
live.
like on the screen like how it all works.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've been talking for 38 minutes. Yeah, because I was like 14 minutes for your first one. I was like, oh shoot, I kind of talked a lot. And then it was me. I was like, okay, like 40 minutes. And then the second one was like 24 minutes. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it goes up and down. I think it's based on like who you're talking to and how comfortable they are.
Yeah.
And then how prepared the person is also. Like if they have like something to talk about, it can go either way. It can go into, yes, we're going to talk about this for a while and then we're going to move on to something else. Mm-hmm. Or it can just blow up and be like, we talked about that and then I have nothing else to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's just how it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last one, the one you told me you loved, the Sandra.
I love Sandra. I want to be on here with her.
So
Bring her
hers, she told me she came up unprepared, had no stories planned, didn't know what we were going to talk about. So that's why I started how it started.
Yeah.
Was because I just wanted to get the conversation started.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, it just completely changed. I had no idea where it was going.
It was so
It just naturally went the way it did.
I love it. I think that's my favorite one so far.
With Sandra.
Sandra, you have a fan.
I told her, I texted her. I told her, like, Marisa liked yours.
I loved hers. Like is an understatement. I loved it. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like we could vibe.
Yeah.
But then that'd be too much pressure and I'd be like...
Well, she reads books too.
Does she?
Yes.
What kind of books?
All kinds. I gave her book recommendations and she has recommended me books too.
Have you ever read any Frida McFadden?
No, I think you asked me that last time.
Oh my God, you need to read. Okay, The Housemaid.
The Housemaid.
Okay. The blue one. They're making a movie out of it. It's got Sydney Sweeney, and what's his name? What's her name? Karen from Mean Girls.
Okay.
What's her name?
I don't know her name.
Okay, well,
just Karen from Mean Girls works fine.
Karen from Mean Girls, and the guy who played Atlas in It Ends With Us.
Okay.
So they're making that a movie. You need to watch it. It was incredible. That and Never Lie.
You need to finish reading a little a little lie. You had a whole month to read it.
2 months.
2 months?
Yes. Okay, look, I didn't want to cancel book club. Only because I knew my cousin was coming and I knew people wanted to see her. Okay. So I was like, I can't cancel book club. Like, no. She's going to be there and I don't want anybody to miss a chance. And my friend Sonia, she was going to be, she's like, I don't know, I got homework to do. I was like, no, come on, I got an announcement that I want to share with people at book club. Like, I'm really excited. She goes, your cousin's coming down, isn't she? I was like, I never said my cousin was coming down. Like, what made you? She's like, if your cousin's coming down, I can miss my homework and like try to catch up tomorrow. Or I'm like, but what about me? Am I not good enough? Literally everybody loves my cousin.
Yeah, I can tell.
She's so memorable too because I had posted on Instagram her singing with my sister, and one of my friends from the mental health place, she messaged me and she's like, oh, your cousin's in town. I remember her. She danced with my daughter. And she's like, she's always the life of the party. I'm like, I know. Yeah. I know. Like,
that's funny.
If there's anybody out there who does not like my cousin, honestly, they are a red flag. Because even my dog, the black dog, he loves her. Whenever she first visited, whenever we were in the house, he saw her and he just peed. He was so excited that he peed. And I was really nervous if he was going to pee again with her. But yeah, dude, like, everybody loves her. Yeah. She has every right to be loved. I love her.
It's funny how y'all's episode's very similar, though.
She was telling me about that. So,
that's kind of the reason why I'm holding up on hers to drop it. Because I'm like, it has to be far away from yours. Because they're so similar. She was telling me, she called me in the morning whenever I was driving to work. She's like, do you have a second? I was like, yeah, what's up? She goes, okay, so me and you talked about the same thing. And I'm like, wait, like, what do you mean? She's like, Duolingo, this, that. And I'm like, oh, I mean, you could always redo it. I thought about telling her, like, we can redo it if you want to because it's so similar. But I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Like, I would just keep them like a month apart.
Yeah.
And some people will notice, some people won't.
Oh my God. Watch, if y'all do it again, it's going to be similar to this one.
Well, it'd be harder because I didn't know her.
Yeah.
Like, and there's some things she wants me to edit out too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the first goodbye.
I did edit that out for you.
Yes, you did. Thank you for that. I don't know how I didn't hear you. Are you sure you didn't add it in there by accident?
No, like you heard it.
Oh my God.
I think it's just you were very concentrated in what you were talking about.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to mention my husband. Yeah. But that restaurant was horrible.
It was.
It was horrible, overpriced. And I was expecting like a jazz saxophone player because that's what a bunch of the reviews said and somebody who recommended me that place. And then we get there, it's freaking like it is techno music, like club music, and like I'm sitting, yeah, exactly, not for our anniversary. So I'm sitting there, I feel my chair just vibrating.
Oh, so they had it loud.
It was so loud, and then my husband, like, the parts of his pants that weren't on him, he could feel the vibration in that too. Cuddly. And then we would have to lean over and talk and like yell. And it just got to the point where we didn't even want to talk and yell. Like, we just sat there and we were just looking at each other. And the food, underwhelming, Toca Madera. Underwhelming. And I even left a review. I'm like, you know, and I overpriced. It was like almost $200 for our food. And he got a burger. How do you mess up a burger?
Yeah, that's very easy.
The only good things were the fries. Like, the fries and the salsa. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I got some chicken. It was horrible. Like,
but you could have gone somewhere else cheaper.
Yes.
And had a better meal.
Where's the flavor? There was no flavor on that chicken. Like, it was just smothered in something that had no flavor.
It was gross.
It was. And then they're like, please reach out to me at blah, 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 so we can rectify this or whatever they said. So I reached out and I'm like, kind of hoping I can get a free meal. They never responded.
No, they don't care.
Yeah.
They have so many people going there that one person having a bad time.
You know what? I think I might change my 2-star. But the staff, amazing, sweet. The staff was so sweet. And like, my friend was like, I heard a lot of complaints about staff. I was like, no, the staff was like really nice and very sweet. Like, I don't have any complaints about them. They were very attentive, you know? But like, they had these guys walking around. I don't know why they were walking around. They're like, everybody's dressed in the same exact outfit, like the staff. And the guys are dressed in black turtlenecks and they got 2 gold chains. And I'm like, what is this? Like, are y'all bodyguards for the mafia or something? Like,
that's funny.
Yeah. But, alrighty. Well, thank you for having me.
No problem. We should do this again one day.
Absolutely. I am down always.
I know. You like just chit-chatting about everything.
I yap.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today's episode of Girls and Gays Let's Talk. Thanks for hanging out with us.
If something we said hit home or made you laugh, cry, or text your toxic ex, you know what to do.
Leave us a review, share the episode with your favorite chaotic friend, and don't forget to follow us on socials for behind-the-scenes drama and messy opinions.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Until then, stay loud, stay soft, and stay exactly who you are.
Bye.
Bye.